Hello, I am Tom, and this is Don, and today we're talking about racism in Warhammer 40k. Racism is rampant in Warhammer 40k. In fact, it's one of the universe's best traits, going hand in hand with its imperial sci-fi setting and grim dark atmosphere.
And as one of the universe's most consistent features, the racism blends perfectly with the over-the-top imperial sci-fi chaos.
But out of all of the factions in the 40k universe, which is the most racist? Let's get into it. Up first is the Tau, or the space communists of Warhammer 40k. The Tau's whole deal is they try and form like a collective, like a coalition of alien races, but with the Tau at the top. So they're almost using the other races as like cannon fodder, which is pretty racist. But in comparison to everyone else on this list, the fact they even work with other aliens, even if it's just as like chattel, is probably the least racist.
Yeah, but then you think about like the orcs or...
Are they more or less racist than the orcs?
Probably a little more racist than the orcs.
That's controversial. Look, I feel like we're gonna do a little bit of like a rearrange, a little shuffle.
Alright, let's start at the bottom.
Yeah, let's start them at D.
Mm-hmm.
D tier.
See if things move around.
Yeah, because they work with other races. That's got to count for something.
Everyone was expecting that.
As long as you're like doing their bidding, they're cool with you. I am now realizing that if they're doing your bidding, they're cool with you is kind of giving like American South vibes during slavery, which is pretty racist. And maybe they weren't really that cool with you, but that's still probably a lot less racist than everyone else. For now, D. All right, who's next? Let's do fucking orcs. Why don't you explain orcs to people?
Orcs are basically murderous space fungus, but I think it also makes them one of the least racist 40k factions because they actually have the capacity to like other races. Like, I think orcs really like space marines because they're hard to kill and fun to fight.
Yeah, they're tough. And they do like assign you a grade and value based on how orky you are. So do they measure by their own like criteria? Yes. But again, compared to everyone else, that's pretty progressive.
And I mean, it's also meritocracy. Like, it's based on the content of your character and your ability to fight. Like, they really like a human called Commissar Yarrick. They really respect him and think of him as like an orc, you know?
Orcs are big Martin Luther King fans.
Yeah, it transcends skin color, for sure.
Which is ironic, because they are obsessed with their skin color.
I think the orcs are the least racist, I would say.
Less racist than Tau?
I think so, for sure. I'm looking at it this way. I think that orcs, they have the capacity to respect and kind of like anything, whereas Tau are always going to be turning their non-existent noses up at stuff.
Oh, yeah, but like, I don't know, I do that to French people. It doesn't make me racist.
What do you think, leave them a D for now?
Fine, there's gonna be a reshuffle. There better be a reshuffle. All right, Sisters of Battle. We're now getting into the Imperium of Man. So to start with, the Imperium of Man is like founded on racism. It's like man above all. I feel like no matter how racist a man is, if you find a female version of it, they are gonna be like thrice as racist. You know what I'm saying?
They don't have the masculine, stoic restraint of a man.
That's right.
They just say...
Yes.
They just go full hysterical. Full hysterical.
That's it, don't get him.
What are you saying? S tier? S tier
I
racist?
think they're S tier racists. For sure.
Especially because obviously the imperial racism is all bound up in kind of the dogmatism of the cult of the emperor.
Yeah, it's a religious hatred.
And they're like 100% cult of emperor, whereas space marines fuck around with LARPing as Vikings and stuff and have kind of other ancillary interests.
Which brings us to the Space Marines. The God Emperor's chosen sons, and the coolest of all the factions in Warhammer. How racist are they? Extremely. But I'm actually gonna say, despite the fact they're like humanity best, like kill the alien, suffer not the alien to live, all that shit, there is a spectrum within Space Marines. So Black Templars, S tier. Salamanders, like not as racist, which means because there's a gradient, I'm gonna say they are not S tier.
Yeah, Space Marines have to be A tier. What are you doing, Space Marines?
That's fucked up, dude.
It is fucked up.
Someone should make a series where like that's not the case. That's gonna be controversial, you know. People are gonna be so mad about this one. What the fuck do you mean? Tyranids. Okay, this one's tricky, right? Are they technically racist? So Tyranids are a swarm. They're a hive mind of aliens whose only desire is to like consume biomass. So they send their shit across the stars, then the fleet of aliens sniffs it out and they fucking eat everything. So is that racist? Like, equal opportunity?
Yeah, equal opportunity murder.
Do they even have the sentience for racism?
Yeah, I don't... How do the Nord Queens work? Do they have any kind of higher intelligence, resentment for life?
Well,
or is it all just about consuming?
Yeah, that's okay. Here's a good question. Is racism just... You're not even hearing me out. I haven't even got to my destination.
All right.
It might be a very rational destination, or it might get cut. Does racism have to be just like the definition emotionally driven? Could you be like an automation that just like... Do you know what I mean?
The philosophical problem with this is like, you could say, well, it's not because it's emotional, it's because it's rational.
That's not the kind of rational, like...
they have to eat everything.
I'm saying automated. Okay, let's say you've got ants. These ants will eat anything that's not an ant. They're not thinking about it. They don't have an emotional attachment to eating stuff that's not ants, but they are still putting ants above all else. Do you see what I'm saying?
So this is just a question of consciousness, basically.
Yeah.
So the tornado that obliterates like a community of one race
Of
versus
just
another
black people. Of just New Orleans.
is not a racist tornado. It's just unfortunate.
Exactly. It's not alright, but it did just target black people.
Yeah.
Now imagine the tornado like targets everything that's not tornado.
Yeah.
What if it puts this life of tornado above all? Is the tornado racist because it's like, but it doesn't think?
No, but the problem is Norn Queens do think. They're conscious. You could say, okay, the Termagant isn't racist, but it doesn't matter because he's just a puppet of the Norn Queen. So what does how does the Norn Queen feel about this? You have to think of the Norn Queen as a conscious thing that you can grant isn't eating or killing everything because it hates them, but because it
Well, that's, okay, so does racism have to be racism if it's got the hatred element, or can it be racism just because it's putting something above something else? Like my example.
And I think a lot of people would say you can be racist just for putting one thing above the other. Like to think that you go above them for any reason as another sentient thing is racist. And hatred doesn't have to be a component. So yeah, in a way, tyrannists, they don't ever make friends with anybody. They just kill and eat everybody. And there is a sentient thinking Norn Queen commanding them to do that, so...
That's pretty racist.
Dude,
that's pretty racist. But, curveball, gene stealer cults. So gene stealer cults from Tyranids are basically they send one of their little aliens called a gene stealer to a planet, and it takes a host or subverts, like it starts like a little cult through like genetically...
Ooh, and then they start breeding.
They start breeding.
So if you were really that racist, would you fuck what you hate so much, you know?
Would you?
But it's also extra steps to kill and eat them.
Well, it's like turning them into you. So what happens is the gene stealer comes, it like genetically infects someone, and they start like a cult around Tyranids, and they start breeding with the Tyranids, and they become more and more like Tyranid over generations. So the starting person might have like an extra limb or 3 eyes, but by the time you get to like the 4th generation, it's just fucking like purebred gene stealers. Is that racist?
Yeah, but it's ultimately the only one that's sentient in this. So those are sentient humans being taken for a ride by the Norn Queen, whose ultimate goal is just to eat everyone. So it's just kind of it's racism with extra steps, Tom.
Well, we do have a real world example we can fall back on to prosecute this properly. The Spanish. South America as a concept. How did it get the name Latin? You do the math.
And why do they speak Spanish?
Why do they speak Spanish? The Spanish went over there and they were like, dude, we could like make these people Spanish. Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like mega racist. You're like, we're gonna breed out the thing that we don't like and make it the thing we do like. Whereas the like English in North America was more like, oh, we're gonna like wipe them out and not breed with them because like, ooh, yucky, what's more racist? Like, what's more racist? Do you know what I'm saying? That's where gene stealer cults muddies the waters here.
Yeah, I think
the Tyranids do both. The Tyranids do both. That's pretty fucking S tier. Or would you say it's A tier because it's missing the hatred component?
Yeah, it could still be racist, but it's missing the sauce. You know what I mean?
Yes, missing that delicious sauce.
The Sisters of Battle, they have hatred and logic,
right?
In their perspective, and Tyranids is just
clarify
logic.
The second half of that sentence.
They have to survive.
That's not what I meant. Dude, I mean like, it's life and death. Although in Warhammer it is, so fuck. Moving on. Demons.
Okay, hear me out. So demons in 40K are the manifestations of intense emotions by sentient beings in real space. So real people, real aliens feel really mad.
Sexual desires,
excessive violence, and that creates demons in the nether alternate dimension called the warp. So what I'm driving at is, demons would be D because they're actually a multicultural society.
Well, also, like, they don't give a fuck what you are. They want to control you.
To possess you, not even necessarily to kill you.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're also like a soup. That's what I'm saying. They are the mixing pot.
They're the mixing pot.
The cultural mixing
40K.
pot of 40K, so they have to be D.
I like how your summary is like, the mixing pot creates hell.
And the warp is always depicted as all swirly.
That's fucking true, Don. Good point.
All right.
Mechanicus. Okay, this is a tough one. So this is another branch of the Imperium of Man. They are responsible for all of the robotics and machinery and stuff, to the point where they like worship it. They're like, this is fucking God to us. However, they're kind of tricky because like, they're so racist they even don't like themselves. You know what I'm saying? They think the human form is kind of disgusting and they want to become robots, more or less.
Yeah, and this is where it gets... So that's one balance that makes them more racist, but then the other piece is they're also fascinated by other tech that they don't understand, so...
They appreciate the culture.
Yeah. Sisters of Battle, to a fault, would swear off anything alien, whereas the Necron would be interesting to the Mechanicus.
Right. Depending, there's like variation, right? Like there's some sects within the Mechanicus that would be like, no, like fuck that, but there's also plenty that'd be like, what's up? Like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, within the lore, I mean, if you're more casual and you just played Space Marine 2, I think there was even a part where one of the Space Marines is complaining about how the Mechanicum are kind of heretics because they're interested in Necron stuff.
That's true, but some people would argue like that's worse, you know? Like culture vultures. You know, they don't even care about like who made it. They just want the thing.
They want the thing to eradicate the things that made it.
Yeah, like that's sick. That's disgusting. In fact, that makes me nauseous.
So is it more racist to culture vulture in order to destroy versus just closed-mindedly swear it off completely?
I think it's less racist to culture vulture.
because both want to destroy, but one will actually touch.
Yeah. It's maybe more like fucked up in a way, but it's definitely still less racist.
I think you gotta go B.
You're not gonna say a super duper liberal who does that where they like, I don't know, fucking take it for their own and whatever, is more racist than like a hardcore like white supremacist or whatever. You wouldn't, there's just no way. B, you think?
Just the fact that they would like revere like Necron tech and be fascinated by other alien tech, you know, and like want to study it and take it apart and be like kind of amazed by it.
They were like really into Drake versus Kendrick or whatever. That's basically what you're saying. It's like that vibe. All right, let's move on to Eldar. Eldar are basically space elves. They are highly supremacist within themselves, but you know, okay, well this is kind of like the previous one. The Eldar are totally okay, like trying to machinate outcomes that save their own people at the expense of trillions of others' lives, right? So they will like try and pull the strings and like use fucking weird magic shit or like fortune telling to essentially like put their species ahead because they're dying out slowly. They are the South Korea of Warhammer 40k. Low birth rates, and that's exactly where the comparison ends. That wasn't very thought through. But they will also like save other races if in the long term it benefits them.
Yeah, so just to clarify your thinking, what makes the Tau less racist than the Eldar?
Because the Eldar would never incorporate elements of other people's like units into their culture. They would never let them live on their worlds.
Except they do. Don't they have like humans work with them all the time?
They might like help humans occasionally, but they would never like integrate them into their society.
I'm not sure that's true.
It's true.
They wouldn't integrate them as equals next to the Eldar.
No, they don't integrate them at all.
Well, I'm just going off of like the original 40k novel series. I think it was Gav Thorpe. Might have to fact check the lore there.
Don't click off. No.
Corgan, Google for us.
Some humans have been known to live on Craft World Eldar for extended periods.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm talking about.
Alright, whatever, dude. There's one white guy in Wakanda and we're gonna say that Wakanda's not racist. Okay.
I mean, everyone here is racist. It's levels.
When you say everyone here, are you talking about that or this?
So you saying B?
Yeah, they're at
I think
least...
it would have to be B.
Yeah, B for the Eldar. Although, like, I would be tempted to say A. Eldar are fucking lame anyway, dude. Who cares? Okay, Imperial Guard. So Imperial Guard are the hammer of the Emperor, dude. Sick. They're just the mass humans. They're just kind of the 40k equivalent of our armed forces today. Super racist, but they would maybe sometimes like get sick of shit and join the Tau.
Yeah, I'm going B.
So I think B tier for them because they're just regular humans. Like,
Yeah, they don't have the indoctrination of like a space marine. You know?
Yeah,
If you're a guardsman, there's a good chance you'd go off and fucking Eldar. You know,
I would.
you'd think about it.
I do. All right, that was easy. Chaos Space Marines. Okay, these guys are Space Marines, but they're in league with demons. I'm gonna say they're as racist as Space Marines. Maybe even more.
Okay, but the interesting philosophical piece is, are they mistaken? Because we've said demons are basically the universe's mixing pot, and they hang out with them, and they let them possess them. You know?
Oh.
So as a chaos guy, you're like letting all the gross, filthy aliens.
Well, they're not aliens. They're like, oh, yeah, Do the aliens contribute to the, like, core ones that the Chaos Marines worship? Because there's
sure.
4 chaos, like, core chaos gods, Nurgle, Slaanesh,
Well,
Tzeentch, and
Slaanesh
Khorne.
is Eldar. If you're
Oh, Slaanesh is Eldar, fuck!
so if you're a chaos guy and you're a Slaanesh chaos guy, then you're letting those Eldar sex pest stuff just
into
rub you all
That's
up.
true. Just a lore dump for you guys, like, Slaanesh was created because Eldar fucked so much and so fiercely that it made a whole chaos god that now wants to eat their souls.
So now you're mainlining Eldar cum into your body to have superpowers. You can't be that racist if you're willing to do that.
Dude, that's so true. Alright, you convinced me. B tier.
Yeah, we'll go B, because they think they're racist, but they're not.
They really want to be racist,
they're
but
stuck
kind of
between S and D, so we'll average out on B.
What a tragic story the Chaos Marines are.
Alright, who's next? So, Dark Eldar are like Dark Elves, but kind of evil and bad.
They're Eldar, but like BDSM.
And they like to take slaves and torture people and do lots of messed up stuff.
Oh, heck.
So, I think they probably have the base racist attitudes of Eldar.
You say based.
Base, like basic.
Gotcha.
Just the standard set.
Right.
What else do they have going on?
They would have a human in their, like, society.
Yes, and they would kidnap a human and torture rape him.
That's pretty racist.
But as we've discovered, less racist than not touching at all.
That's settled science.
This is touching.
We've discussed that, and that's settled science. So you're right. It is less
Yeah.
racist than just not touching at all.
Yeah, raping a new race into existence in Latin America is less racist than just genociding them.
Is that what we decided?
That's what. Yeah, I think so.
Fuck. It did give us Latinas. It's not all bad.
In a way, don't people kind of consider it a genocide even still? Because you've kind of eliminated and replaced the original thing?
People.
Hey, but to go back to the other thing, just murdering everything and refusing to touch it because it's icky, philosophically more racist than being willing to fuck something, even if you also want to kill it. So I think you'd have to say the Dark Eldar are less racist than Eldar, and if Eldar are B, then Dark Eldar are C.
Wow, you are making a lot of good points. You think about this
I
often.
think about this a lot.
C. Dark Eldar is C, based on the exploits of Spain. Alright, Leagues of Wotan, I don't know. This is like added after our time. Okay, so these guys, they're not the most fond of aliens or even humans. They're basically space dwarfs. That's all you need to know about them.
Should we talk about them as squats or what they are
You
today?
just said that to like flex on people. You were like, yeah, I know what they were called a long time ago.
This is actually after our time. This is like a newfangled, made-up Warhammer race that doesn't count, so I don't know a lot about them. But the squats were a class of abhumans.
No, these guys are like, this is a different thing now.
They're a completely different thing.
They're like, maybe aeons ago they were humans, but like, it's been so long they don't consider themselves humans. And
Okay.
the Imperium doesn't consider them humans. Look, I'm gonna say, these guys have no emotional attachment to stuff, and they would even like, let aliens exist as long as the aliens aren't like interfering with them. So I'm gonna say they're probably like D tier.
That's all pretty lame. Sounds pretty fucking lame.
It is pretty fucking, like, Warhammer's supposed to be everyone fucking sucks
And hates each other.
and hates each other. That's like what makes it cool. That's why it's not fucking loser shit like Star Wars.
And this is like a measured social justice race.
No, they're not. I mean, they're not like advocating for like aliens get along and shit. They're just like not that interested in exterminating them all for the sake of it. Which I agree, lame.
What if the aliens land on their space rocks?
Oh, then they'll fucking wipe them out.
So they don't share the mining resources?
No.
Okay.
No. They're like your regular MAGA. You know, they're not
MAGA
like
level.
Yeah, they're not like
Yeah.
they're not actually like racist.
Just distrustful.
Just distrustful, right?
Okay.
Whereas like almost everyone else is like fucking, you know, hailing and the rest of it.
Who's next?
Necrons, S tier. So Necrons are essentially the most ancient race in Warhammer, or like one of, and their whole deal is they're space mummies. They woke up, they're fucking grouchy. All of these other newfangled stupid races are like treading on their dirt and they want to kill them all and wipe them out. That's essentially it. They hate everyone who's not a Necron. They think they're inferior. They want them gone.
The universe belongs to them.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking S tier. Right?
Sweet. Yeah.
Dude, I don't think we need to reshuffle shit. This is a perfect list.
Who is the least racist of the racists?
Demons.
Yeah, it'd have to be. Who's next? I'd say orcs.
Orcs more than Tau is like, it's a tough one for me.
They don't have racial-based hatred.
They
you know?
do. Anything that's not an orc is automatically considered like fucking less than.
Unless it's orky enough.
Yeah, but you have to like,
Yeah, but
dude,
philosophically, that transcends race, and they're just not...
No. Okay. Let's go back in human history, and you have like a Muhammad Ali.
Okay.
Such a good boxer and entertainer that like, yes, the white people of the time are like, like they're one of the good ones.
Uh-huh.
But does that mean they're like not racist?
I see.
Like, yes, merit-based, but you're starting from different starting points. So you have to do something truly exceptional to become like orky.
No honorary Aryans.
Yeah, it's like Italians or something, you know? Like,
What do you mean?
I'm still figuring that out myself. No, I'm just saying like, yeah, you can become white, but you didn't start there. That's how orcs do stuff.
Yeah, makes lots of sense.
We're so fucking retarded. Whereas Tau, they'll be like, dude, as long as you're with us, you're fucking white. Like, that's the Italian equivalent there.
But are they, though? I think every alien is still always below the lowest Tau. It's like the same thing as orcs. They might just be willing to work with them more often, which I guess would still make them, what, less racist than orcs?
Exactly.
Okay. All right, what about Leagues of Votan?
I don't think they would ever work with aliens, so I'm gonna say they're more racist than Tau, and probably, I'd say they're more racist than orcs. It's not like they can, you know, content of your character into like a, oh, you're Votan-y, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they probably just have the fantasy dwarf skepticism of every other race, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a toss-up. You decide, Don.
Yeah, let's just say most racists of the D. They are still 40k humans, sort of, after all. So our final declaration on who's the least racist in Warhammer 40k is the demons. Agreed?
Yeah.
So now, final question, who is the most racist in 40k? We're between Sisters of Battle or Necron. Necron think there's no space in the universe for anyone but Necron.
Yeah.
Sisters of Battle think there's no space in the universe for anyone but humans.
Yeah, but I feel like a Sister of Battle's dogma, no matter how, like, stringent, could be undone.
It's not infallible.
It's not infallible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas the Necron's just a robot.
Yeah, I mean, the Necrons have sentience and stuff, but, like, I can't see anyone talking them out of it.
What about that guy that goes around and collects aliens, you know?
Yeah,
Still
so
pretty
there's a guy
racist,
in-
but like, a Sister of Battle would never do that.
No, but, like, he's still viewing them as, like, inferior, like, specimens that are interesting. You could foreseeably see a Sister of Battle, like, forsaking her human stuff and joining the Tau, like, in a very super mega rare scenario. It feels like it could happen. Like, maybe a better comparison to a Necron would be, like, a Grey Knight. So a Grey Knight is, like, a Space Marine, but even more fucking indoctrinated and shit, and they would never, ever, right? That's more of a Necron to me.
I don't know if there still are, but there used to be rules in the game where you could not team up with aliens, like ever, if you played as Grey Knights.
Yeah, on that basis, if I say Necrons and Grey Knights are kind of like similar to, that means the Necron's more racist than the Sister of Battle.
Well, there you have it. Most racist race in 40k, not the Space Marines, actually, but the Necrons.
That's crazy, dude.
And who got the silver medal? Sisters of Battle. Space Marines only got bronze. What do you know?
Yeah, so there. All right, I like it. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you've been thoroughly educated. Maybe next time we'll do which one's the most sexist or something. Who knows?
That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun.
That'd be a deeper conversation.
Yeah.
Kind of want to do that. Write that down. See you next Friday. Goodbye.